Welcome to Homegrown in the Kitchen. Today we're going to show you how to use a chef's knife, arguably the workhorse in your kitchen. You're going to be able to eliminate a lot of gadgets once you get the hang of using a chef's knife. But first I want to talk about some knife safety because that's very important. The first rule of thumb when using a knife is if you fumble the knife and you drop the knife, don't try to catch the knife. You step away and raise your hands up and let it fall to the floor. Number two, you want to use a cutting board that is very sturdy. Here today I'm using one that has a gripper back, so it's not going anywhere. I can try to move this on the countertop and it's not going to move, and that's very important. If you don't have one of these, I suggest you use a wet paper towel or a wet kitchen cloth underneath your cutting board. The other is when you put your knife down on your cutting board, you put it down, if you're right-handed, you put it down with the blade facing this way so that when you pick the knife up, it's in the right position. So now that we have some basics of safety covered, let's talk about how to use a chef's knife. First is how to grip the chef's knife. And I see a lot of beginning cooks, they grip the chef's knife way down here. You don't have a lot of control when you're gripping it way down the handle. You want to use the pinch method. You want to pinch the blade here and grip it down on the knife so you have some control. What about this hand? We want to keep these fingers safe. It's called the claw. You want to curl your fingers and thumb and little finger under so that you're never exposing these to the cutting surface so that you can get cut. You're holding your food with what we call the claw hand. So let's look at what that would look like on in this case, a piece of celery. We want to use the claw and hold that in place. Now the motion that we use with a chef's knife, and I'm going to demonstrate that without the food and then we're going to add the food in. This is what you want to get used to. It's this motion. It's down and through, down and through. This tip never comes off the board. You also want to center your body on the cutting board and in a stable position, and you want to continue to look down at your food and what you're doing and be very careful. So now let's add that together with the food. So we've got our claw hand, we've got our pinch grip, we've got our cutting board that's sturdy, we're centered on the board, and we're coming down and through the food and back up and down and through the food. And you see that I'm moving the knife the same amount so that I'm getting even slices. And don't worry about speed yet. Speed will come. You can get to where you're slicing very fast, but that will come later. Just get the motion down. That motion will serve you so well in that moving the knife and that claw hand. So give that some practice so that you become a pro with a chef's knife. Thanks for joining us on Homegrown in the Kitchen.